We're really doing it, folks. Thanks for coming out. Good to be here. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Hey, good shirt. How are you? Cleavage. That's exciting. Hey, don't get weird. You brought it. All right. Here we are. Sorry, I got to work on saying things to people out loud. Yeah, I got a problem. I just say what I see. I think I'm autistic, but just like the bad parts of it. You know? Like I can't compute numbers or remember dates, but I'll make you feel weird. Right? Like you drop a bunch of toothpicks, I can't count them, but I'll give you a shitty hug. I'm working on it, trying to get better. Flew here from New York. Man, I hate flying. You know, they let you pick your seat on a plane. I think I'd rather pick the person I'm sitting next to. I don't really give a shit where I am on the plane. It's like a 5-hour relationship. Make it more like a dating app. Obese Nazi with a service dog? Swipe left. Tiny Asian lady with a surgical mask? That's my gal. Yes, she is not a talker, right? But just like a dating app, she shows up with a baby. I'm like, I got catfished. Hate the small talk. 2 things I can't do, small talk and eye contact. How sad is that, you know? I basically have all the traits of a serial killer, just without the ambition. I'm working on it. People always say, Mark, gotta be more confident. They say, Mark, gotta be yourself. I'm like, well, you gotta pick one. I can't do both of those. Like, a lot of people are scared of skydiving. I'm more scared of the banter on the plane than I am jumping out of it, you know? You sit in the plane, it's all windy, you're strapped in. Some guy's like, so, Mark, where are you from? Just like... It's like, we're supposed to go together. I got it. At least with skydiving, you get an instructor. What about stuff I'm bad at, stuff I'm nervous about, like a dinner party? You know how many dinner parties I've screwed up? Set me up with a pro, right? I just show up, some guy's like, all right, I'll take care of him. I'm like, beautiful. He's giving me tips. Don't say the N-word. Got it. All right. She's not pregnant. Don't ask. Thank God you're here. Some guy at the party's like, so who's your favorite comic? I'm like, Bill Cosby. He's like, pull the chute. I'm working on it. I had a chatty Uber driver last week. That's the worst, huh? This guy wouldn't shut up. I forgot that the no small talk option on the app, so I had to get creative. I had to scare the guy into being quiet. He's like, how about this traffic, huh? What do you think's causing this? I'm like, probably the Jews. He's like... I'm like, all right, I give this ride 5 stars of David. Yeah, I'm working on it, you know? Always trying to get better. I'm a weirdo. That's why I drink. Big fan of the booze. I got to cut back. I actually got let go from a job once for being drunk at work. My boss called me and he goes, get in here, Mark. It's clear you're a high-functioning alcoholic. I was like, wow. How do you know I was also high?
If you don't know, now you know. This is the one and only Mark Normand. And as you can tell, he's a very laser, to-the-point stand-up comic, or basically a throwback to almost one-liners within the stories, though. Like, he's obviously telling a story, but it's very strategic with his jokes, and they're very, like, to the point. I mean, this guy literally walks around with flashcards. Not only that, this is he's on the podcast with Sam Morril, We Must Be Drunk, and I gotta say, out of all the comedy podcasts, I would say We Must Be Drunk might be one of the better ones out there, because they actually talk about comedy stuff and they're actually really funny together. And Mark Normand is just incredible at, I would say he's incredible at just like finding jokes in all these different spots. You know what I mean? And especially in conversation and just in general, just jokes. Like that joke right there that we just saw. He's like, they said I was a high functioning alcoholic. And he's like, how'd you know I was high? Like the joke is right there and he sees it and he capitalizes on it. And that's usually, that's basically what comics do. Like there's nothing, like basically with Mark Normand, when you watch him, all the meat's off the bone. He gets every little thing out of any joke or any subject or whatever it is. So let's just jump back right into it and see how he does, man. I got one of my favorite guys.
This guy is good. One of my friends is like a beer expert. You know, he's like, we gotta go to a brewery. I'm like, why can't we just go to a bar? He's like, it's fun. You can see how it's made. I don't care how it's made. Look, I like porn. I don't need to go to a broken home. Not saying all porn stars are in broken homes, just the ones I like. Seems like a lot of people are quitting the booze now. It's kind of going away. All my friends are getting sober. And look, that's good, but some people are better when they're drinking. There's a lot of bad sobers out there, you know? We always talk about the negative part about booze. What about the good? Like, sure, you drove through a playground, but you could dance, man. Come on. Trying to get better. I'm in therapy. Anybody else? Hey, there you go. A couple people. Yeah. I'm doing this thing called exposure therapy. That's where you face your fears. Scared of heights, take a hot air balloon. Scared of drowning, takes you in the ocean. So he said, what are you scared of, Mark? I said, I'm claustrophobic and scared of intimacy. So he took me in a little closet and fucked me. It was very expensive. Yeah. Why the stigma with therapy? Why? All my friends make fun of me. I think it should be mandatory. Everybody works out their muscles. Why not work out your emotions? I'll be hanging out with a friend. He's like, all right, man, take it easy. I'm going to go work on arms and back. I'm like, cool. I'm going to go work on letting go of the past and accepting love. Everybody loves the gym. Ooh, the gym makes me feel sexy. Well, you know what else is sexy? Not being a walking red flag. Nobody cares about your abs if you're the guy having a meltdown at Chili's, right? I think people respect the gym because there's a culture behind it. You know, like gym rats. They have T-shirts that say beast mode and better sore than sorry. Therapy people, we need T-shirts. We need a shirt that says no dad, no problem. Right? Or like can't stop, won't stop crying.
He's hilarious, man. He's super funny. Actually, recently he came out to Vegas. So Mark Norman's known to do random pop-ups before, like he does weekend shows. He came here on a Wednesday. I think it was about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when this video drops, 3 to 4 weeks ago. He pulled up to the iconic The Dive Bar, which is literally one of the places that I go to all the time to do stand-up. And I've been doing stand-up there for the last 4 years. It's my home. That's what it feels like. I used to host there way back when they needed a host, emergency host. I was like, okay, and I hosted for 3 months. It was fantastic. He pulled up, and he did a show there, and it was absolutely packed. There was like 100 people in there, packed to the brim, and he just murdered. He was just killing it, and I couldn't even get in because it was at the end of the show, and there was like 10 minutes left when I showed up, and it was so packed, like there was like no room. There was no room. So, but the way that the dive bar is designed, you can actually see the comedy from outside, and the doors were open. So I was just chilling there. We're all chilling. And then the show was over. We all got to hang out and meet Mark and chop it up with him. He's like a comics comic, man. And it was a really cool experience. And I think that's why a lot of people not just like him for his stand up because he's hilarious, but he's such a down to earth, 10 toes type of guy. Like he's a real like human being on top of that, but also like a real comic that goes up. He would go up 5, 8, 10 times a day in New York. That's why I love going out there, man. So I'll probably be planning a trip out there so I can, last time I went to New York, I got up 10 times in one day. So to be able to do that, it's like a training for you when you're a comic. If you can get up 10 times in one day, you could do that in LA too. But in New York, there's something about doing a set I did a set at 10 a.m. and then I jumped on a train and went to a library, did a set there at 12. From there, I went to a place that was right down the street at 1, and then I went to this other place called Tiny Cupboard, and I think I started doing a mic there at 2 or 3 o'clock, maybe 5 p.m., I don't remember, but there's 2 floors, and there was basically a mic every hour, so I would just do the one downstairs and then upstairs. I did that from like 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 till midnight, and I did like literally... by that point, I was like at 8 or 9 or 10 shows. I went to Harlem, did a show there randomly, like an open mic show. And then I went to some random place at like 2 a.m., did a show. So I was like at 10 or 12 mics that night. And it was just an incredible experience for me because I was a young comic, which I still am today. But I got to experience New York City and the comedy scene and just being in it. It was amazing. And it's just the hustle and bustle of that city, but the way you can get around was incredible. That's why I love going to New York, man.
I could have used some therapy as a kid, weird kid, bedwetter. Oh, yeah. I wet the bed every day till I was 13 years old. My mattress looked like a goddamn coffee filter. Woo-wee! I ruined a lot of sleepovers, folks, yeah. You start to run out of excuses after a while. Now, your friend's like, what happened here? I was like, geez, I must have spilled a cup of piss. Yeah, they say a lot of bedwetters become serial killers, which I believe, because we learn how to clean up a stain pretty quick. That's how embarrassing it is wetting the bed. I'd almost rather be known as a murderer than a bedwetter, Your friend sits on your mattress. Why is it all crinkly? I'm gonna kill you. But hey, growing up now, 36 years old. I grew up before the internet. Maybe a better time for a kid. Maybe a question back then, hey, Mom, what's the capital of South Dakota? She's like, I'm on the phone. And you just didn't know. What a concept, not knowing. Now we have so much information right there. Now I have an Alexa. I love this thing. An Alexa's like a mom without the passive aggressiveness. Ask anything you want. Hey, Alexa, how many cups in a liter? 4.23 cups. All right. If I'm like, hey, Mom, how many cups in a liter? She's like, why don't you check your mattress? Zing! That Alexa's tricky. I read an article recently. It said Alexa actually listens to everything you say, stores it in a database, could use it against you later. It's like, damn, just like a real woman. Now I'm all nervous, like, hey, Alexa, what's the weather out there? She's like, why don't you ask Siri? Oh, boy. Here we go. Yeah, it's got to be hard to be a kid now. I feel bad for kids. So much stimulus coming at kids. iPhone, internet, social media. Remember how happy-go-lucky we were as kids? Not a care in the world. Maybe run to the car. Shotgun. That was like the biggest problem in my life. Shotgun. Yeah, I never see kids doing that anymore. The only time a kid yells it out now is in a classroom. Whoa.
He does like these little like act outs that are really, it's like he's like a nerdy comic, right? And he does these like little tiny act outs. Whoa, whoa! It's just like I've seen it on both sides where you see a comic and he does an incredible act out that's huge and massive. I would say like a Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, even Dave Chappelle in certain moments. But then there's guys like this who can do little tiny things that really add layers to the joke. And there's a guy like Ali Siddiq who can do little stuff like this, and then he could do the big act outs as well. And that I feel like Ali Siddiq has one of my favorite comics of all time, if not ever. He has that ability to hit both sides of the little stuff, the big stuff. And when you're watching Mark Norman here, he's doing a little tiny act outs that are just adding layers to the joke on top of that. So generally with a guy like this, I would say from my experiences of doing stand-up, he's going to be doing... when he first started doing these jokes, it's probably just joke to joke, no act outs, no nothing, deadpan, straight to the thing, straight in your face. Over time, he probably built out a little bit of, act outs, a little more facial expressions and this and that. And that's basically what happens when you just stick in the game a little longer. Once you get a little used to your act, which is starting to happen with me, I'm starting to add a lot more to it, like a lot more of me into the act. I'm literally shaking off all my insecurities and getting to that point of being my full self on stage, which takes years to get depending on who you are. Sometimes people get there faster. A barometer in stand-up is like the first 5 years, you're just trying to find your voice. In that area, you're going to be finding your voice. After that, then comedy kind of restarts for you. And then you're starting to add a lot more to your act where you're building towards that 30 to 45 of a smooth act. Not just because you could stand up there doesn't mean you could do 30 to 45, but an actual act. And then when you hit that 10-year mark, you're getting right close to 50 to an hour of good material that you can get in and out. That still needs a little sharpening here or there, but you can get in and out of it and you can hold your own and you could actually start headlining. Some people get there a little faster. Some people get there a little longer, but that's kind of like a barometer of how kind of stand-up will work for you, especially if you're going up every day. Some people don't need to, some people do. It just really depends on what's going on in your life, right? A guy like Mark Normand is such a throwback that I wouldn't be surprised that within 6 or 7 years in comedy, when he's like probably that 6th or 7th year, he started really hitting his zone and starting to really get good. And I think he's like 38, 39. I think he was passed at the Cellar probably at 30, if I remember correctly. I don't remember exactly, but I mean, the guy is incredible, man. He's really good.
School shootings. What a bummer, huh? The great American pastime. Yeah. School shootings are like the menstruation of America. Happens about once a month. It's bloody, and every kid goes, well, I guess it's my turn now. Oh, I know. They're bad. I like how they're blaming the video games. Video games cause violence. Come on. Video games don't cause violence. Video games cause carpal tunnel and vaginal dryness. I know a lot of guys, they play 8 hours of video games a day. Their girlfriends are like, violent. Slap my ass. Choke me. I'm dying here. Look, I don't think games translate to real life. I grew up playing Monopoly with my friends. None of them now own property. To be fair, some did go directly to jail. That's we got problems here, you know? Like, I just got back from Europe. They really make fun of us over there. That's like all they do. Oh, you Americans, you're so fat. I'm like, yeah, we're doing great. Why is that a bad thing, how fat we are? I think it's cool. It's like impressive. More people die in America of obesity than starvation, which is like, hey, we did it. How cool are we? We're dying from eating food. We go up to heaven, some guy's like, I starved to death. What happened to you? We're like, snacks. Yeah, the McRib is back. What do you want? He's like, well, how'd you lose your foot? Frostbite? Nah, frosting. Yeah, we're fat. We're so high up on the food chain. One of my friends, he only eats grass-fed beef. You realize how crazy that is? That means he gets to pick what he eats. That's pretty good. And here's the weird thing. Cows eat grass. That's how much we mess with our food. When something eats what it's supposed to, we brag about it. That's like saying, hey, you know, my 4-year-old is sober. Get the hell out of here. What? Father of the year over here. Yeah, we're fat. All my friends are fat, mostly. My family's fat. I grew up pretty fat, you know. I try not to make fun of fat people unless they make fun of me. That's when I let it go, you know. Like, all my fat friends give me shit. One of my fat friends told me I have skinny privilege. Like, privilege? Something can't be a privilege if you could do it too. Right? I've known you my whole life. You used to be thin. That's not how privileges can't be attained by exercising, right? If that were the case, then black people would take a jazzercise class. They wouldn't get pulled over, right? It'd be that simple. He always condescends to me. Oh, you're so lucky you're thin. Lucky? You gotta work at it. It's hard. What the hell? You gotta eat right? It sucks. Saying you're so lucky you're thin is like saying you're so lucky you don't have kids. No, I had food, and I pulled out. He's like, whatever, it's easy being skinny. Well, not really. You couldn't do it. Yeah.
His transitions and everything seem incredible. I'm going to stop the video here, but yeah, I'm a huge Mark Norman fan, man. I just really appreciate how he loves stand-up comedy, and he actually does it for the love of the game, which most people do. But, you know, he'll do spots in places he doesn't care where it's at. And, you know, one thing that I think I've ran into with some people who are like further beyond, they don't even want to talk to you. Like, if you're under 5 years of doing stand-up, they don't even want to speak to you, which is fine. But like, people don't like remember their roots and where they came from, or it's like they don't even want to. I've been through that. Talk to me when you have an act, which is fine. But like, this guy, he's great. I've heard too that sometimes in New York, like, he'll be doing a set and there'll be like an open micer there opening or something like that. Maybe he doesn't have a good set, and he'll give him like a tag, or he'll say, hey, it's okay, buddy. Like, just keep going, like things like that. He's really inspirational and a positive figure in the comedy scene. And that's why I really like Mark Norman a lot, man. Cause I try to do the same, just not in the comedy scene. I've been trying to be super positive about stuff, and, you know, if somebody doesn't like me or whatever, I don't even ask questions. I say, okay, no problem. I'll just stay away from that person. Hey, that's your right. So it is what it is. And same thing with like off the comedy scene. Like, I just try to be positive about life. Life is crazy, man. Life, you go through a lot of stuff in your life that is unpredictable. So being unpredictable. Same thing in comedy is very unpredictable. What's going to happen, and you never know where things are going to go. So it's a little hectic, and just having a positive attitude and just keeping your head down and keep grinding and keep working and trying to get better every single day. That's all that really matters. So other than that, man, I really like this dude, and make sure you follow him. I think he's going to be dropping another special soon, or if not, he's already did. But either way, just follow the channel, and thank you for watching, and I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and share this with your friends. Let's get big, baby. All right, have a good one. Bye.